Right, news coming in: 2 deaths and 8 injuries during a Jallikattu event held at the Rapusal, Pudukottai district today. This is the information which is just coming in. Remember, today after yesterday's hectic developments in Delhi and in Chennai, the ordinance was drawn up and the Chief Minister as well as the centre made an appeal for the protesters to vacate and go home. But today was also the day of the first legal Jallikattu, and this is the unfortunate side of the incident that is coming to the fore. Let's go straight to my correspondent Revati Rajivan, who joins us from outside Madurai. Revati, what more can you tell us about this?
Well, Jugal, this place Pudukottai is about 110 kilometers away from Madurai, and remember that is not a place where Jallikattu was supposed to take place today. Jallikattu, according to the authorities, was supposed to officially be inaugurated in this village Alanganallur inside Madurai district. So there were a lot of arrangements that were planned. So perhaps Pudukottai, we do not know if the kind of arrangements that were planned for Alanganallur really took place in Pudukottai, because 17 medical teams for the bulls, 20 medical teams for the bull wranglers, and several policemen and ambulances were supposed to be stationed. Barricades about 8 feet high barricade, double barricades that were supposed to be put up as well. That were the kind of arrangements that was planned for Alanganallur, and because protesters had occupied the ring, the Vadivasal, the ring where Jallikattu is supposed to take place, the government officials had decided to move Jallikattu to different other places to officially say that we have now legally conducted Jallikattu, and now this Jallikattu in Pudukottai was one such. So there is lack of clarity whether there were sufficient arrangements that were being made. We're just getting details about that, but so far what we know is 2 people have lost their lives during the Jallikattu event, and over 8 injured, all of them admitted to a nearby general hospital, Jugal.
Revati, this incident of course will in a sense also shine the light on the fact that there are not enough safeguards which are being built into the system when such a sport is being, or such a culture or a tradition as they say is being allowed. How do you see the impact of this incident on the ground situation? What are the people in Madurai, whereas you were telling us the first event was to take place, the first legal event, reacting to this?
Well, with these deaths, it is another point to raise against the conducting of Jallikattu. Now, if it was held in a very safe manner with all the arrangements in place, and if it would have gone well, it would have been on the side of the locals. Now that there has been casualties, it is a point that will go against the locals, against Jallikattu itself. Let me get you voices from the locals as well. Innekku nadanda Jallikattuல Pudukottaila 2 பேர் இறந்துட்டாரு. 2 people have died in Jallikattu in Pudukottai. How do you look at this?
So yeah, it's I mean the reason of dying, அவங்க எதுக்காக shall I talk in Tamil? Okay, அவங்க எதுக்காக மேபி அவங்க சாகிறதுக்கான காரணங்கள் என்னவா இருக்கலாம் அப்படின்னா, கவர்மெண்ட் போட்ட ரூல்ஸ், ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ரூல்ஸ் வந்து வாழை பிடிக்கக்கூடாது, காளையோட வாழை பிடிக்கக்கூடாது, ரெண்டாவது வந்து காளையோட கொம்பை பிடிக்கக்கூடாது. ஸோ காளையோட திமிலை மட்டும்தான் நம்ம பிடிக்கணும். அப்படி திமிலை பிடிக்கும் போது அந்த வீரருக்கு சப்போர்ட் கிடைக்கிறது.
Okay, so you're saying that perhaps in Pudukottai rules were not followed, which is what led to the deaths of these 2 people?
No, we are not saying like that. ரூல்ஸ் வந்து அவங்க ஃபாலோ பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, ஃபாலோ பண்ணதுனால தான் இந்த பிரச்சனையே. ஏன்னா திமிலை மட்டும் அந்த வீரர் பிடிக்கிறாரு, அதுதான் அவங்க ரூல்ஸாக செட் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ திமிலை பிடிக்கும்.
Okay, they're saying that perhaps rules were not followed, and it is very obvious, Jugal, because all the kinds of arrangements that were made was made for specifically for Alanganallur and Avaniyapuram villages in Madurai. So it was in the morning that all of the government officials had to return because the villages blocked them, did not allow them to enter. It was an immediate decision to shift the venue to other places. So perhaps there would have not been enough time to make all that arrangements, safety arrangements in place and follow all the rules and regulations. But we will have to wait and see what exactly led to the deaths of these 2 men who took part in the Jallikattu event.
All right, Revati, stay on with us. We'll tell our viewers more about the event, but for now, the bull taming sport of Jallikattu has made a comeback after 3 years in Trichy, and rules were extensively flouted at various events. Earlier today, rules were defied extensively at the Jallikattu event in Trichy. Along with bull wranglers, public spectators were allowed to embrace the bull. The images of the event clearly flout the Tamil Nadu government's rules of conduct of Jallikattu. As per the state's conduct of Jallikattu Rules 2017, participants, and I quote, should not stand in front of the bulls. The exit way for bulls should not be blocked. Participants should not hold the bull's tail horn. Spectators' gallery should be 15 meters away from the arena. Unquote. Rules have also been mentioned for the setting up of the gallery, the bull collection yard, and for the bull run area. Alright, I'm now joined by correspondents on the ground. Apart from Revati Rajivan, who joins us from outside Madurai, we're also joined by Akshita Nandagopal, who's also stationed in that vicinity. We're also joined by Pramod Madhav, who is reporting from Chennai. Coming to you first, Pramod, this incident that we are reporting about, 2 deaths and 8 injuries, this is obviously going to strengthen the argument and of course the hands of the critics of Jallikattu. How do you see the impact of this event on the administration's resolve? Because it clearly tells you that while you may have an ordinance which has been made so that the heat of the protest can be taken off, it clearly isn't going to be easy implementing that and ensuring that the safeguards aren't violated.
Well, Jugal, I got to tell you that after what happened today, the event of things that rolled out, we could certainly say that the kind of laws and regulations do not apply to AIADMK, it seems. The people on the ground are asking a question as to how they can conduct Jallikattu just one day after they create this ordinance. Because to prepare the land itself, they need almost 3 to 4 days. The land should be prepared with coconut fibers and turmeric powder. No law is being followed over there, and we have visuals right now stating that the people are they are standing dangerously close. They are not the bull wranglers, but the public, the general public is standing so close to the bulls, and this is certainly not going to help the Tamil Nadu government or the protesters who've been protesting in Marina Beach for more than 5 days. If the evidence of 2 people who have died goes to the Supreme Court, it is definitely going to go against the case. And knowing that as well, Chief Minister O. Pannirselvam and their ministers did not budge, did not take care of the laws properly. They should have taken more time to implicate Jallikattu. They should have taken more time. I have protesters over here. Unfortunately, 2 persons have died in Pudukottai. You fought for Jallikattu for more than 5 days, and now this has happened. Whose fault do you think this is?
Yeah, it's a government unfortunately taken the decision that has led to 2 people died in Pudukottai. So we have been protesting here for 7 days continuously in a democratic manner. There have since not even a single molestation, nothing happened. So everything is in order manner, and we have been following the law and order. Even the policemen have supported us superbly. Yesterday night I have been here for the whole night, but not even a single policeman you have seen here in the Marina Beach. Everybody was in the road, and that too only 10 policemen. So everyone was taken care by the youngsters, and they have the volunteers. So the last minute when we are approaching the victory.
Well, I want to ask you one more thing now. As 2 people have died, it seems like getting a kind of ban lifted from Jallikattu it might become difficult. What will be your next step as a protester over here?
Actually, first of all, we are all very sorry for the loss of the life of 2 people. I really feel that it is very irresponsible from the side of the government to conduct Jallikattu in such a short time. There is a procedure which was not followed, which has to be followed. They have to follow it for we must plan it properly. There was no proper planning.
Well, Jugal, this is a movement from here. What people think here is that the government tried to take hasty decisions, conducted Jallikattu in a hasty manner, and unfortunately 2 people have lost their life. And still AIADMK tried. They could have. People here think that now the protesters got the first victory to get an ordinance. They were fighting for an amendment for PCA Act, and even if this could be done, such a mistake would cause a huge backdrop for the protesters over here, Jugal.
Shifting focus to Akshita, who's out there outside Madurai. Akshita, it's extremely interesting. The protesters at Marina Beach blame the government for the haste that has been shown in the ordinance. We also saw when you were reporting earlier that the authorities and the government and the administration was actually pulling out from where you were reporting from because the people weren't allowing them inside. How do you see the situation evolving if the administration is not going to even be getting space to be at a place and function from? How can the people blame the administration for its absence?
You know, Jugal, I've been at the Marina Beach for the last many days. Today I've come to Madurai, and I think there's a stark difference in the situation in both cases. In Marina Beach, we saw volunteers coming together really with the administration, with the police, and ensuring that's a peaceful protest. I'm on the outskirts of Alanganallur, which is, of course, this epicenter of these protests that we've been witnessing over Jallikattu. And once again, I want to show you how this entire area has been completely barricaded by the people. This isn't by the police, Jugal. The police has maintained that anyone who wants to can enter this particular village, but it is the villagers who've decided to stage this kind of a protest, not allowing anyone really to enter this particular village. It's only protesters and locals who are being allowed inside. Women here who have been seated for hours together. I've been here since early in the morning, and they've been seated here all day, ensuring that certain people are not really allowed to pass through and enter the village. I told you earlier as well that we saw fire, medical services as well as police pulling out of this particular area. They're now leaving the onus on the villagers, on the locals present there, to take their own decision to in fact decide whether they want to go ahead with their Jallikattu event or not. Back to you.
All right, day one of Jallikattu turning fatal. Thank you, Akshita Nandgopal, Pramod Madhav and Revati Rajivan, all our reporters reporting there from different parts of the state of Tamil Nadu.